we will talk with the client. Often we introduce snap features to replace fasteners to simplify their design. So what we'd have to do there is for instance, if it's a snap fit like that. So what that would involve, instead of having screws and complicating the assembly process, adding components to your part, you would just have simple snap fit designs that are just the plastic components just fit together, and therefore eliminating that extra cost of components and assembly processes. The difficulty you have is that you produce an undercut in the part. For instance, what you have here, if you would design it in a way where you typically design just a two-part mold. So a mold involves one part going that way, one part the other, and then you're ejecting the part from the mold. The difficulty you have here is this area here would just simply snap off. So what you have to do is introduce a little bit of complexity in the mold with a feature that would allow you to really allow this part to come out when you open the die, and therefore remove that solid metal away and allow you to get the part out. So by doing that, you've added a little bit of complexity to the die, but it's a fairly simple mechanism. But for the entire life of that product, you've really reduced the amount of components you're going to use and the overall cost. Typically what we see often is someone approaches a design house. A client will approach a design house. They will industrially design the part without too much consideration to complexity of the manufacturing process. So what we have in-house here is a dedicated manufacturing cell, and a design house internal. So what we're able to achieve is we're able to, instead of the customer going to a dedicated design house, getting the design and then giving that sometimes complicated design, sometimes not easily mass producible design to a manufacturer who would then stick with that part and not change it at all. What we're able to do is come work with them on the design, reduce as much cost as you can, reduce the amount of components, improve the manufacturing process, and then move into that manufacturing area where we can give a one-stop shop solution for all their needs. Typically, you'll find that 80% of the costs involved in manufacturing a part, they're determined in the design process. The end manufacturing process can only be improved by a small amount. You can only perfect that to a certain amount. So things like reduction of components, the choice of material, all that sort of stuff that is determined in the design process, they will not have often pure design houses will not have the consideration for reducing that cost in the manufacturing process. So what we're able to do is, because we have an intimate understanding of that process, we can explain it to our client. We can help them refine their design in such a way that we reduce all those costs that would otherwise just continue through the life of the product.